Alright guys, I'm going to show you how to put the parrot shell together with 4 ultrasonic sensors, an XB, power distribution board, and bolt it all together. So here we go. Hopefully you guys can see that. I'm going to start with this 3D printed part. The STL is called Parrot Shell 6. It took a few revisions to get it right. So first of all, we want to install the ultrasonic sensors, which we'll be using these, and they go in these holes. It's important to do the ultrasonic sensors first because if you put the Arduino in first, then the ultrasonic sensors won't fit. They just slide into the holes. You have to work them a little bit, but they go right in. And they snap into place, almost like they were designed to fit together. You have to work them just a little bit because they're real tight fit, but that's what we want, that way they won't fall out. This one did break a little bit, so if they seem too tight, you can trim the holes with a knife just a little, but you don't want to trim them any more than necessary. Okay, we got 3 of them installed. Now we can install the Arduino. Before we install the Arduino, we've got holes in the top that bolts are going to go into. I'm going to be using a 3mm tap. I've already tapped these, but just to show you how it's done, just run the tap in. The holes are sized that you can run the tap in with your fingers, or you can use a pair of pliers on the tap, but try and get it straight. So do that for all 4 holes. Install the Arduino. It goes this direction. Just like that. That piece should stick through the hole. And then your screw holes will line up. We're using M3 screws by 12mm long. And they take, the screws that we're using use a 2mm hex because we're using Allen drive. You'll notice that the screws stick through the back a ways. That's on purpose, and you'll see why in a minute. There's no standoffs on these screws, so don't tighten them down as far as they'll possibly go, or you probably end up breaking the Arduino. You just want them just so they're not wobbling around anymore. Just barely finger tight. Alright, the Arduino is installed. We've got our 4 screws sticking up through the back, like you can see there. We'll be using those to hold the bullseye on in a minute. Now we can install the 4th ultrasonic sensor. It goes in the front. These holes are just a little bit saggy, so I'm going to clean them up just a hair, just to make it fit a little easier. If you use a knife, be very careful, don't cut yourself. little bit of scraping should be all that it takes. This one goes in that direction with the pins facing down, and we're just going to solder wires onto the pins because we don't have very much room in here. We're trying to keep everything really light, so we're not going to use connectors everywhere. We're just going to solder everything together. Now it's time to get the soldering iron.